Well, I said I would try and get some rabbit hunting footage using the Armex Airstream pellets, and here we go. It's a nice evening, a wee bit breezy. I've just parked the van and just left the farmyard, working my way down this farm lane, and I spot a rabbit in the field in front of me. Now the grass is quite long, all I've seen is the wee ears twitching, and it's just enough to spot the rabbit without it spotting me. So I crouched down a wee bit, try and lower my profile a wee bit, and made my way forward to the barbed wire fence. Took up a comfortable shooting position. The rabbit knows I'm there now as he's sitting with his head up. I take the shot, and I'm pretty sure that the shot was good, but the rabbit still ran about 3 or 4 yards and then dropped into a large tussock of grass. I kept the rifle trained on it just in case I needed a second shot, but it never appeared again, so I quickly made my way forward. Now I have to admit that I did need to give the rabbit a second shot off camera. As you can see, that the pellet actually struck the rabbit in the eye. It was a fatal wound, but for some reason the rabbit was still on its feet when I got there, so I used the second shot to finish the job. Sometimes that happens with an eye shot. You're better hitting just behind the eye into the brain, but that was my fault with marksmanship rather than the pellet's fault. Further into the farmyard, make my way up to the corner of this building to have a wee keek round it, as I've seen some activity. The field here is quite uneven and it's full of long weeds and that, so sometimes it's very hard to spot a rabbit. But I see one down near the bottom of the hedge here, but he's a good distance away and I'm going to have to try and stop my way through the long weeds. Just as I turn my head to my right hand side, I spot a rabbit standing up out of the weeds about 20 yards away. So I dispense with the shooting sticks and bring my BSA Superten up to my shoulder. I go to take the shot and then suddenly realise that I haven't recocked and loaded the gun after the first rabbit, but still managed to get the shot off and take the rabbit down. As I said, I'm using my BSA Superten. It's running at about 15 foot-pounds of energy, and I'm using the 15 grain Armex Airstream pellets, as they seem to grip very well through it after the tests I done with it earlier. Now, the rabbit I originally spotted earlier is still sitting there at the edge of the hedgerow, so I slowly make my way through the long grass and weeds trying to get within range of it. And just as I set up, it starts to move into the hedgerow, but I can still just see it through the bushes and take a shot at about 40 yards, but miss. I quickly reload. I couldn't have been far off it. Re-aim again and take a second shot. This time the pellet strikes the rabbit in the heart and lungs and drops it. I keep the rifle trained on it in case it needs a second shot, but it's down and dead. I admit I was going for a headshot, but whether the pellet clipped a branch of that and offset the pellet into the heart and lungs, I don't know, but it was still a good clean kill and had the desired effect. You can see the pellet impact high on the shoulder. It's a youngish rabbit, probably why it sat there so long even after the first shot. I took on the other rabbit. But we'll stow him in the bag and go back up to the top of the field and see if I can find the first rabbit I shot. It can be quite easy to lose a rabbit after you've dropped it in this long grass and weeds, but that shot looks quite good. Impacted in the right hand side of its head and came out just sort of below the skull on the other side. Well, we'll head back down over the gateway there into the next field. I haven't seen anything sitting about, so this is why I'm dandering through the middle of the field instead of staying close to the hedgerow, when all of a sudden I spot something in the neighbouring field. A slightly out of focus rabbit sitting along the hedgerow, which has spotted me but hasn't run away completely. So I sidestepped to make sure that the big tree there in the hedgerow was blocking the rabbit's view of me, and then slowly started to make my way forward. I get up to the hedgerow. This is as close as I'm going to get. Again, set the shooting sticks up and try and pick a clear sight line through the hedge. Using my laser rangefinder, the rabbit's about 37 yards away. Hit the shot and just missed.
I missed.
But it couldn't have been far away from it, as I seen a little fur rising. I think I allowed too much elevation and just give him a haircut. So I've worked my way round quite a bit of the farm, and I usually see rabbits in this field, but the grass has been left to grow long for silage. So I've made my way slowly towards the corner of the field through the long grass, hoping to catch a rabbit out. And sure enough, I spy one feeding away just out from the hedge a bit. No other choice but take a standing shot here, and taking away a headshot at about 20 yards. Oh, better not forget my shooting sticks. Wouldn't be the first pair I've left behind me somewhere. Well, again, it's another fairly young rabbit. The shot placement was perfect, just behind the eye and below the ear, and the pellet penetrated right through. So it was a good clean kill. So I give his belly a little squeeze to get rid of any excess urine before I put him into the game bag. Now, I've been fairly pleased with the Armex Airstream pellets. They definitely seem to be doing well with the rabbits now, out to about 35-40 yards. With 4 in the bag tonight, you can't really argue with that.